for the Dolphins. Welcome in, everybody, to this special Saturday. You've come to the right place, a place filled with football and people talking about it. I'm your host, Colleen Wolfe, leading you up to kickoff in Vegas. So let's rip through all of the highlights so far today because we have a lot of them. First up here, this game going on in Arizona. Cardinals and Niners. Kyler Murray here. The Cardinals can clinch a playoff berth with a win and a Bears loss tomorrow. First quarter, no score. Kyler Murray throws off his back foot and drops it in perfectly for Christian Kirk for the 38-yard game. Okay, so they're moving. 7 plays later, Cardinals facing 3rd and 8. And Kyler Murray tries to find Christian Kirk in the end zone, but Kirk can't hold on to the ball there, so he's hit. Cardinals added a field goal there, so they would take the 3-0 lead. Later in the first, C.J. Beathard connects with the guy that is back, their tight end, George Kittle, for a 24-yard pickup. Kittle's first game back from a foot injury that sidelined him since week 8. Okay, 6 plays later, Niners 2nd and 8, and C.J. Beathard hits Jeff Wilson Jr. for the 21-yard score. Niners take the 7-3 lead. You can take another look here. Wilson catches the ball, weaves through some defenders there for the touchdown. Everybody's excited about that. Okay, second quarter, Cardinals down 7-3. Kyler Murray goes deep for DeAndre Hopkins, and he can't come down with the catch. He comes down, though, in some pain. You can take another look here. He's obviously in some discomfort there, whether it's ribs or what. Not going to speculate, but Hopkins, he couldn't make the catch. He went to the locker room. So the Cardinals, they settle for the field goal there, trailing 7-6, as you can see here at the half. C.J. Beathard, 5 of 9, 87 yards with that touchdown to Jeff Wilson. Kyler Murray, 16 of 27, 118. Kenyon Drake, 36 rushing yards. So that is what's happening on Amazon Prime Video. That game obviously in the half. Now earlier today on NFL Network, we had Bucs and Lions, and boy, did this escalate quickly. Opening drive here, first quarter, no score. Tom Brady drops back and throws deep to Rob Gronkowski as he makes the catch there. 33-yard touchdown. Gronk, I mean, the catch over Tracy Walker despite that tight coverage, so we got the spike. Okay, Bucs take the early lead there, 6-0. Next Bucs drive, Tom Brady goes deep again and finds Chris Godwin over the middle for 47 yards. That was Godwin's longest catch this season. 2 plays later, 2nd and 12, Tom Brady going deep once again, and it's Mike Evans that comes down with the score there. 27-yard touchdown, makes the catch just over Justin Coleman. Oh, Brady. Okay, so later in the second here, Bucs up 20-0. Tom Brady with the play action fake, throws out to Chris Godwin for the one-handed catch for the touchdown. You can take another look here. Godwin makes the catch using just one hand. Pretty spectacular. Okay, not too shabby. So the Bucs tack on one more to make it 27-0. Later in the second here, Bucs with the 1st and 10, and Brady finds Antonio Brown. Back-to-back touchdowns for Brown, and this was a blowout. The Bucs win it 47-7.
We're playing better, playing more, just consistently, and it's been great to see. And I know, there's a lot of guys who have worked hard to get to this point. 10 wins gets you something this year in the NFL, which gets you a spot in the playoffs. There's going to be a bunch of teams that make it this year, and there's only going to be one team that ends up happy. So the more time we can spend improving as a team, improving as a quarterback that I need to do, then the better it is for us.
Yeah, it's just the beginning. Our goal when we started out, especially in this year, was just get in the dance. And, now it's to win 11 games and see where we stand and where we're going and know who we're playing. And really, really proud of our guys. Our guys did a great job of preparing this. But you could feel this was a playoff practice week. Even with the holidays, they handled their business well.
Okay, so those Bucs, they clinch a playoff spot there, their first trip to the postseason in 13 years, as you can see right there, reaching double-digit wins, 10-5 now on the season with the decisive win over the Lions. And guys, we talked a ton during the pregame show this morning about the slow starts on offense for the Bucs, how they would come out flat in these games. And how did the Bucs respond? Well, they set a franchise record for the most points scored in the first half. Tom Brady was done after the first half. Of course, it was against a Lions team that was pretty depleted. But, Irv, do you think they've kind of figured it out at this point ahead of the playoffs? Was this a perfect get-right game for them in the offense?
Well, I think what we saw, and Tom alluded to it, is a game where their rhythm is hitting. Rhythm is the timing of an offense. When Tom steps back, he lets the ball go. He threw that ball. Mike Evans ran right up under that ball. You know, like these plays right there. That's a rhythm of an offense. And you can have that rhythm when he has that protection. That's the physicality that the Buccaneers have to worry about. Look at that offensive line. That pocket for Tom Brady. There was a clean pocket. As long as the pockets are clean, now they have the rhythm and the timing on the back end. This team is getting ready to do something. But now that offensive line, on the physicality part, they have to make sure they keep that pocket clean so Tom can exploit that rhythm or that timing.
I mean, I agree with you, Irv. You know, when you look at this game, they're absolutely ready for the playoffs because they just whipped the pants off of the Detroit Lions. I mean, they got rhythm. They were able to block people that they haven't been able to block. They were able to complete passes down the field that they haven't been able to complete passes all year long. They were able to run the ball efficiently at times where they haven't been able to run the football efficiently. So, I mean, unless the Detroit Lions are making the playoffs, I think they are just fine and everything will just go great because the Detroit Lions is the get-right game that fixes all ailments that they haven't been able to fix for the last 16 weeks. So, yes, I think they're right on pace to just march up in there, prance up in the playoffs, and have it, you know, just lemon squeezy. Easy peasy.
It was easy peasy today for the Bucs, dashing through Ford Field there in Detroit for the massive win. Now, what is going to happen tonight in Vegas? It's our third game of the day. Let's take a look here at the AFC. At 9-5 right now, the Dolphins have that 7th and final spot. They hold the tiebreaker over the Ravens with a better conference record. So if Miami wins out, they're in. If they slip up in one of their final 2 games here, their path to the playoffs, it gets a whole lot tougher. So Miami, they got back on track last week with a win over the Patriots, eliminating New England from the playoffs. That had to feel a touch satisfying. With more on the Dolphins, our Steve Wyche is in Las Vegas. Steve.
Well, Colleen, you know, what's interesting is I've covered this game a long time, and for about the past 20 minutes, Tua Tagovailoa was on the field with a couple of the offensive coaches with the play call sheet. They were going through a lot of different scenarios, and part of that is because, as Tagovailoa told me earlier this week, they're facing a new interim defensive coordinator, Rod Marinelli, and they're trying to pick up tendencies that he did differently last week that the Raiders had not done before. So there's a lot of things that are keeping him grounded, and that is the case for this entire team. I asked Brian Flores this week, you know, I said, look, your team, a lot of players on this team have not played in meaningful games at this point of the season. What is it like to try to keep their heads focused around the fact that you're on a playoff precipice? And he said, we're worrying about getting through practice, playing week to week. And every player we talked to this week said the same thing. So, Colleen, he's got them grounded and focused on this game. They know this is going to be a tough challenge, but there's no big picture conversation with the Dolphins as much as we want to talk about the strides that they've made.
Sounds like they're grounded, they're locked in, and that's the best spot for them to be in right now to succeed as this young team. Of course, last week we saw the Raiders and Marcus Mariota, he kept